I popped because of some of the comments you made and the word female. I don't like that word either. And you said something about you would approach one of the ladies, but you wouldn't date them.
Well, female, I mean, there's male and female, so you use the word male, or I'm just confused on that part.
I only use the word man or woman when it comes to human beings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with female?
It's dehumanizing in a way.
How?
And you said you're into like understanding how the world works and the environment around you.
Yeah.
So maybe studying a little bit why women feel like that is offensive would help.
Well, honestly, that's not how I see life. I see life somebody else's perception shouldn't affect you unless to let it affect you. You know what I mean? Somebody could call you a female, right? It would only affect you if you let it affect you. You know what I mean? So somebody else's words shouldn't really get into you unless you let it to. So I don't think so is my problem. I think it's just like an individual person's problem.
That's interesting.
Certain parts of my life has this enlightened me.
Can I say something about the enlightenment?
For sure.
So we should be careful about giving ourselves titles. We should let other people do that for us in certain areas of life.
For sure.
I don't want to say I'm great, I'm a queen, I'm this, I'm that. I want to allow the people to see my fruit and then they tell me, you know. I should know who I am in spirit always, but it does come off egotistical and we have to be willing to take criticism from others if we want to grow. So
you want to take criticism from others and you want others to give you titles, but then you want to police others when they say female instead of woman. Make it make sense, because maybe I'm tripping. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the mid to late 80s and all through the 90s. I'm from a time and era where these words were just used and it just was what it was. Like, I wasn't so pussified and so offended, like, oh my God, you're calling me a male instead of a man. It's dehumanizing. Like, no, what the... A word itself isn't offensive by default, okay? Intent and behavior matters. Female is literally a biological term. It didn't suddenly become a slur overnight, or did it? Maybe I missed it. Did y'all just wake up one day and decide, what do I want to be offended by today? How can I be a victim today? Or was this in the Feminism handbook? Let me know. Because what confuses me is how fast the reaction escalates, like the word alone proves disrespect. If someone called you a male, would you be offended? Or do you refer to other men as males? Yes, if I'm making a generalized statement, i.e. males are not typically as offended by words as females are, generalized statement. Whether you agree with that statement or not, there's no disrespectful intent behind the word. I am not responsible for your feelings and how you feel. How you interpret the world around you and what's said is none of my responsibility, okay? I thought y'all was strong, independent, and this, that, and the third, but you act like little snowflakes when it comes to certain words. Like, yo, no, I wouldn't be offended, because context matters more than vocabulary. I grew up in a time where words didn't automatically equal harm. Back then, we judged people by actions, not by whether they used the approved internet terminology or not. And what we're seeing now is language policing, replacing actual communication. That creates a culture where men are constantly walking on verbal eggshells. You can dislike how somebody speaks to you without assuming they're disrespectful or dangerous. Yeah, I think it's feminism. I really think it's feminism that taught a lot of women to interpret neutrality as hostility. And that doesn't empower communication, unfortunately. It shuts it down. So if I have no ill intent and I'm respectful in my actions, then the word choice alone shouldn't override that. This is the same thing that was going on when they used to say, they used to get mad at Kevin Samuels. Not at what he was saying, but, oh, it's his tone. It's his tone. It don't matter how his tone was a reflection of the women that he would talk to. So the tone doesn't matter. You're just offended by what's being said because it's the truth. Accountability should be about behavior, not vocabulary checklists. And at this rate, if language keeps shrinking, eventually honest conversations will become impossible. So are we really protecting people's feelings, or are we just enforcing ideology? How is it dehumanizing? Female is not a dehumanizing word by definition. It's a descriptor, okay? Dehumanization comes from how somebody treats you, not a neutral term. You have male and female humans. That's a man or a woman. You have male, female dogs. You have male, female cats. You have a male and female cords, cables. You have male, female, God damn it, shit stuck. I should have had this prepared. The fuck? You got male, female cable parts. This is the female part, this is the male part. Like, what? Yo, do you think this cable is offended when I say it's male and female parts? Like, what the fuck? Cable's a hermaphrodite. No, seriously, like, people say just say woman instead, but that's language policing. So if you start demanding specific words instead of clarifying intent, the conversation turns into control. And I'm sorry, respect shouldn't require constant updating vocabulary rule book. Most people using the word female aren't trying to strip anyone of humanity. That's the thing about it. And I think the problem is because a lot of women, girls, females are used to hearing the word female, not in a negative connotation. It's not the word that has a negative connotation. It's the action behind it. Females do this, females do that, women do this, women do that. Even if we say women, watch them start to say, oh, I get offended when men say women. Because there's a criticism behind that. This is an interesting thing. I want you to imagine, right? Imagine a mother and a father, and they have a child. The mother tells the father, you know, I don't like the way that you discipline little Johnny, right? The father takes that information and internalizes it as, okay, that's a behavior that I need to correct, or that's an action that I need to change. If the father says to the mother, hey, I don't like your lack of discipline to little Johnny, or I don't like the way that you do this with little Johnny, oftentimes the woman, the mother, will internalize that as not a behavior that needs to be corrected, but an attack on her character. So you're saying I'm a bad mother? And I think that's what's going on with the word female. Because when you hear the word female, if there's a criticism behind it, you internalize that as we're saying that you're a bad person, or we're saying that you're bad people. Instead of understanding the criticism is directed towards the behavior that needs to be, addressed. So if I say females are great, females are beautiful, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start doing that. From now on, when I say female, I say I love me some females. Females are beautiful. Boy, gee, willikers, gee, golly, by wow. I love females. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. You got music, you got a business, you got a product or service, but you're not making enough money off of it because you don't have enough exposure. DM or email me right now to get promoted on my platforms. I have 850,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 460,000 followers on Instagram. I have the following that you want to get seen in front of. I was able to increase the sales of this Amazon book off of a YouTube sponsorship with just 30,000 views. And I was able to give this artist 15,000 views with the Instagram repost in less than 24 hours. So DM or email me at bookingcranklucas@gmail.com right now to get more exposure and more money for your business.